welcome to a very special edition of The Piano Men with Stanley Carr here. I am very pleased to welcome to the show tonight Johnny Neel. Johnny's been touring all over the United States and Europe, astonishing audiences with his powerful vocal and amazing keyboard technique. Born blind in Wilmington, Delaware, Neel cut his first single at the age of 12 in 1966 as Johnny Neel and the Shapes of Soul. As an adult, the Johnny Neel Band had a strong following up and down the East Coast and released two well-received independent albums, One Hot Night and You Should Have Been There. Neel moved to Nashville, the premier songwriting city, in 1984, where he immediately became recognized a Session A studio player. Others began to notice Neel's songwriting talent and decided to take advantage by recording his songs on their albums. Performing with various bands and area clubs drew the attention of former Nashville resident Dickey Betts, who asked Neel to join his road band and began working on Dickeys' solo LP for Epic Records. That relationship led to 7 cuts on the Pattern Disruptive LP, including the top 10 AOR hit Rock Bottom. Neel's talented keyboard and harp playing on that album convinced Gregg Allman to ask Neel to tour with his road band. Neel decided to join the reunited Allman Brothers Band, immersing himself in a successful tour which led to a #1 AOR smash hit during the summer of 1990. Car radios all across America blasted Good Clean Fun from the Seven Turns album, co-written by Neel with Allman and Betts. The chart-topping hit provided the reunited Allmans with their highest charting single since Ramblin' Man 15 years earlier. Neel's songs have been recorded by such artists as Montgomery Gentry, Delbert McClinton, John Mayall, John Lewis Walker, and many others. Johnny Neel is a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from the 2012 Grammys with his work with the Allman Brothers, and he's also got a brand new CD out called Clean Break. We're going to be talking about it and playing some cuts all throughout the program tonight. Thank you so much, Johnny, for coming on, speaking to us on the phone.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here, brother. Glad to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. Let's talk about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington?
Well, actually, Newcastle, Delaware.
Newcastle.
Which is right outside Wilmington. Yeah. But, well, that's that answer. Yeah, I grew up in Delaware. And then I moved down here to play music, and I've been going down here for 30 years. Maybe, yeah.
So what kind of made you want to pursue music?
Music did. Music made me want to pursue it because I like music. And, and basically I just came down here because a friend invited me to do a session, and I never went back. So I like it down here. It's a good place to live. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it was kind of freaky. I didn't have much to do with anything. It all happened by itself. And then, like you said, I met Dickey Betts, and I met Warren Haynes, and people like that, and they happened to take a liking to what I was doing, and were kind enough to let me hook up with them, and away it went.
Was there a time that you remember early on growing up that you recall playing for the first time? How old were you when you first started taking lessons?
Oh, I never did. No, I never did. I had 1 year in piano, and the teacher was a little touchy-feely, so I got out of there. Yeah. But, no, I had a lot of people, in blind school, I had a lot of people to listen to, man, and they were all good. Everybody down there could play, And so I was like a sponge. I just soaked it all in and copied everybody, and eventually came up with my own style. That's what most people do, and that's cool.
So who were some of your first influences as a musician growing up?
Well, genre. I mean, because, you know, I like Ray Charles, I like the Allman Brothers, but I didn't, and I like Oscar Peterson, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, you know, Joe Zawinul, whatever it was. You know, I liked anybody that I had to learn what they're doing. And, you know, some people, I don't have to do that. But Weather Report, when they came out, I had to learn that. That was pretty cool. Yeah. You know who Weather Report is?
Yeah.
They were, yeah.
Those guys are legends.
Yeah, and they were good influence.
Very good influences.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, I got into, like, Dr. John, Leon Russell, and all those like that. I really like Leon Russell.
Leon Russell.
He had a good style, a recognizable style, you know. And and I got to meet him a couple times. I did a thing where I played slide on the synthesizer. You know, with a wheel.
Yeah.
And Leon come in and asked me, Johnny, how you doing that? I said, I ain't gonna tell you, Leon. That's my secret. And we sort of hung out. He's an interesting fellow.
Yeah.
Interesting fellow. Yeah.
He, I believe he lived in Nashville for quite a while too.
Yeah, he did. Up near Henderson, I think. But don't quote me on that. I never played with Oscar Peterson. That's one of them players that if you want your butt kicked, go ahead and call him. Put his album on it. He's probably the happiest playing piano player I ever heard. I mean, he's happy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know anybody else except for Art Tatum that can do what he does.
Another legend.
You know?
Another legend, too.
Another legend. Plus, he was blind, too. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what. So I kind of I have a lot of influences. You know, so that's a hard question. You know, but we got it.
I remember watching a clip of Oscar Peterson on Dick Cavett teaching him all the different scales and octaves. And just I was mesmerized by how he was able to do that and teach another person how to do it. You just never know what so many of these people are capable of doing. And he was a genius.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had a big left hand, too. He had a big left hand. He could do like a tenth. He could spread his hand 10 notes. That saves him a lot of work. You know?
Definitely did.
Yeah.
So you first released your first single at 12 years old. Tell me how that came about.
Well, my brothers had a band, and I started fooling around with piano a little bit. And so my brother had a band called The Shades of Soul, and they were all college kids. And I was like 12. I don't know how my dad talked them into let me be in the band. But then I met this record guy from up in my hometown, and he saw me and I did an audition, which was playing Congress along with Stevie Wonder. And he gave me a record deal, 12. I didn't know what that was, you know. I wanted to go out and play, you know. And we kept going over the same two songs over and over. And I'm going, well, can we play something else? And then I realized we were going to the studio. It scared the hell out of me. But I made it. I didn't even know exactly what was going on. You know, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
Which probably worked to my advantage, you know what I mean? Because I could have froze right then and that would have been it. But it came out good.
And that was one of your first professional gigs too. Did you feel nervous about going into the studio for the first time? Were you shy? Tell me about that.
Because I didn't get it. I mean, I went in there and, we played the song and the guy didn't like the intro we had. and he said, told me to come up with something. So I came up with something, but I mean, I was too naive to really get scared, you know? Mm-hmm. I really didn't understand it. I mean, I wish I would have, because I'd have been a lot richer. You know, but it was a cool thing, man.
That's good. Definitely. I know a lot of musicians sometimes get stage fright when they go off and either perform or they cut a record for the first time, but it's kind of rare to hear people that are confident that just feel like they can do it without any sort of without needing any sort of a pep talk or somebody to talk to if they're scared.
Right, that's true. But you know, it came out of me, and that's all I didn't. So it came out of it all by itself. That's true. So I didn't have to worry about, messing up if I didn't know what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I like to improvise. I'll put a whole band on stage, and we won't have any tunes at all, and we'll come up with 5 or 6, and people don't believe that we're writing it. Matter of fact, I had a band one time with a bunch of guys from Atlanta, Town Butu, and guys from Colonel Bruce, Just Sight, and we never had a song. We never had a song. That's how good they were.
That's very interesting.
They were listening so hard. If you did anything counter, like on the counterpoint, we'd end up in Cuba. You know, it was good. It was a good band. Yeah. But then what happened, we started learning what we were playing, so it wasn't any fun. We learned what we improvised, and then I didn't like it no more.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, playing music is supposed to be fun, you know? If you're not having fun, then why are you doing it?
Well, yeah, I know that, but it ain't very often you have a band that never rehearsed and the conga players swore we had charts. That's how tight it was. Oh yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So you moved to, I know you were traveling up and down the East Coast for a while. Tell me about how the experience was like for you on the road growing up and starting out.
Well, all the guys that I traveled with on the road at that time were all my friends. We had a lot of camaraderie, which you don't get much of down here. Because everybody's freelancing and getting gigs. But at that time, when we do a band, it's a lot more local loyalty, I call it. But they were all my friends. So I had a good time, and we had a couple of accidents along the way, like real accidents, and that was a little scary. But overall, it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and play a cut from your new CD, Clean Break. We're gonna play Too Much Love. Tell me about how this song came to be. What was going through your mind when you wrote this song?
Well, I didn't really have the Too Much Love hook at first, but I wrote it with a friend of mine, 2 friends of mine, Melissa Alici and Randy Bowen, and I had these chord progressions, and they're both great singers, so all the harmony ended up coming out, pretty much by itself. It was just one of those songs that came out,
Mm-hmm.
And as it should. I really like the message, and I just think we need more songs like that around here. As far as a positive thing goes. Well, go ahead and play it.
We definitely could use some much needed positivity with how things are in the world today. So we're going to go ahead and play Too Much Love right here. This is Johnny Neel on the Piano Men. And we're back here on the Piano Men with Stanley Carr, and I'm chatting with Johnny Neel here tonight on the Piano Men. He's an accomplished musician, keyboard player, singer-songwriter. He's worked with all the great legends. And you moved to Nashville, I believe, in the 80s? Is that right?
85.
85, wow.
Uh-huh.
What made you decide to move here to Nashville?
A friend of mine told me I had done a session, believe it or not, in Philadelphia, and it was a country record. And he told me I should come down here, and I did, and I went back. I'm still here. So yeah, it was one of them deals, you know. But I got lucky, like I said, you know.
So you worked in Philadelphia. What made you want to go to Philadelphia for a bit?
Well, Delaware's about 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Delaware, so
Yeah.
I went up there and did this album. We cut the whole album like a day and a half. And I thought, wow, that's cool. That's neat the way they do that. And I said, that was the way I started learning how to do sessions. But the chart part was funny because I didn't know what that was. And they're out there calling all these numbers like 11, 44, 12, 1, 2, and I went, hike, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Everybody started laughing, but it took me a while to understand that. But once I did it, then it allowed me to communicate with other people, other musicians, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was when I first came down here. Because I think we're the only city that uses it.
Mm-hmm. The Nashville number system.
Yeah, the number system, yeah. Could be wrong. But anyway, so I thought it was a football game.
I know for me, when I first learned the Nashville number system, it took me a while to learn it too, because there's all these different, like minor fourth, minor fifth, minor seventh, you know, the 1 chord, the 3 chord, the 5 chord, and then eventually it started clicking because it depends on the key that you're playing in. Like if you're playing C, the key of C, it's C's 1, E would be 3, and then G would be 5, and then you'd go on and play that chord progression.
Right, and the good thing about it is you can come up with your own part, and it works. You don't have to. You're not sight reading, so you know you can still create along with the chart. You know, and that makes it cool.
Definitely. So I know we talked about it earlier. So you were born blind. Tell me about how you were able to overcome all those obstacles to learn how to read at first. Was it hard at first, or did it? I know you said like a lot of it just comes to you. Tell me about that.
It's like this. As far as obstacles, I'm not really blind. I was always blind, so I don't have to relearn nothing or stuff like that. I was born blind, so rather than like say I got in a car wreck or something, you know, I'd have to relearn everything. But I always was blind, so it's just, you know, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have to learn nothing. It was like, it was normal to me.
Yeah.
You know, and then once I found the blind school, and I knew there was other kids like that, then my world really opened up. That was me, you know. But, so I didn't have to really overcome. I just had to, you know, live my life and hope it worked out good, you know.
Right. So you eventually moved to Nashville, and how did you get to meet Dickey Betts? That seems pretty. It's a pretty fascinating story.
Well, back I was at the Bluebird, and I guess he heard about me somehow, and I was playing slide on the keyboard with a Marshall amp, turned up to 12, and anyway, he heard that and asked me to join the band, and which I said yeah, And but it was hard to play slide when you're playing with him because he was pretty particular about which way I should bend it and how far I should bend it. Don't bend it too far, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
And he was very gracious to me. He was very gracious to me. And I'll never forget that. Some people, when they get to his level, kind of try to blow you off or something, But me and him spent a lot of time in his house writing and all that good stuff. We had a good, we wrote a lot together.
Did you ever get a chance to work with somebody that was kind of a had a no nonsense personality?
Well, kind of, but not that it was. Tom Dow. I think he was a little bit more disciplined than I thought he was. He was a great producer, but he didn't let me get away with too much. Mm-hmm. And I tried like hell. But he was an amazing producer, probably the best I ever seen, and just what he did in the studio down in Miami it was just incredible. He had tape all over the place, and he had digital going, and he had this going and that going, and I don't know how he did it. But he was a good guy, but I got in trouble one time. I can't tell you what happened, but more on tenor. Am I on the radio? I don't know. I can't tell you. But it had something to do with a.
Yeah, we got to be very clean. Got to be very clean.
Okay, well, never mind. I got a spanking. Yeah.
You got a talking to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. But I mean, I deserved it. But anyway, he was the best. He was look what he did for the Skin and the Allman Brothers and all that. Mm-hmm. He was just, it's like you get a producer like him, it's like you got another band member.
Yep.
Basically, in a nutshell, So I didn't know that. So but now I love him. And, he's like the king,
Yep.
He's the king, boy.
He's worked with quite a bit of people, too.
Oh, yeah, everybody. Just put it in a nutshell. He worked with everybody. And, but that's the only no-nonsense guy I got yelled at by.
You also got to work with the Allman Brothers and got to work with Gregg Allman, and eventually you guys released the song Good Clean Fun, which was on the Seven Turns album. How did that song come to be? And what was it like working with Gregg Allman and the Allman Brothers?
It was just like a bunch of guys sitting around, basically, once you forgot who they were or who you think they were, took the Allman Brothers out of it. They were just a bunch of guys writing songs, sitting around a table, late at night, and that's how it was. Mm-hmm. Dickie, I remember I was sitting on a car down in Miami, and Dickie was writing a song sitting on the curb, and I'm dying to go over there, but man, I want to go over there and get in on that. I'm glad I didn't, because it turned out to be 7 turns.
Wow.
So if I went over there, I'd have probably messed it up. But they were all a good bunch of guys.
Go ahead and play another song off your CD called "I'm So Lonesome." This was written by Hank Williams. How did you get to tell me about recording this song?
Well, me and my wife were playing it, and I don't know, goofing around, and I was singing, "I'm so lonesome I could cry," and we were just goofing off, and then she got got down to that E minor that's in there, and once we got down to E minor, I said, hey, we should do the whole song in minor. And basically, and then I got the Jeff Beck attitude, and then that's what happened. But, I just thought it would be a funny idea, and it worked real good. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a slide, that's a keyboard on the slide on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how, I didn't know, Well, I don't know if you can tell. I hope not. That was fun.
You've been mentioning before we play this. You've been mentioning about working and playing slides. Tell me about that. How compared to playing a keyboard, how difficult was it for you, or easy for you was it to play the slide?
On the keyboard?
Yeah.
Oh, it was easy. I think I'm a frustrated guitar player, is what it is. So it was easy. You set that wheel and away you go.
Yeah.
I had fun with it. Jan Hammer used to do something like that. Way back. I forget how way back it was. He did something cool like that. That's where I got the idea, I think.
We'll go ahead and we'll play I'm So Lonesome. This is Johnny Neel with I'm So Lonesome on the Piano Men. And we're back here with Johnny Neel on the Piano Men. Speaking with Johnny Neel tonight, and I kind of want to throw out some names. We talked about a few people you've worked with or some of your favorite musicians. We'll throw out a few more. Dr. John, tell me about him.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, I met Dr. John a couple times. I never worked with him. So, but as far as a piano player, I remember I was backstage at B.B. King's birthday party, and I had a Polaroid, and I had this thing where I wanted to take pictures of everybody, right? And he goes, "Man, how the hell he gonna know? How he gonna know it's on there?" I said, "I don't know." I started laughing. I really lost part of my soul when that guy passed on. He was something else on the piano, man. I mean, just had his own thing more than anybody, I think.
He was a legend gone too soon.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about it.
From the Big Easy.
Yeah, I like it down there.
They've got a lot. New Orleans has a lot of just phenomenally talented jazz musicians. Do you ever play in New Orleans?
Yeah, I played there a lot, and I think what's fascinating about New Orleans is the drummers.
Yeah.
The drummers down there, and the 2 and the 4 down there, it does about an 8 and 9 and a 10, 11, and that's in the beat. When I come up here, listen to, I hate to say country music, just regular music.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing all that stuff. Man, I just, my stomach starts to hurt. I gotta have syncopation, man.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it did. But I knew a lot of people that knew Dr. John, and his drummer was a nice fellow. But I never got to actually. Only time closest I got was at his birthday party.
Okay.
But that's closest I got.
So aside from the Allman Brothers and Dickey Betts, who were some of the other people you had the chance to work with that people might know?
Oh, that people might know. Well, of course, the Allman Brothers. Let me think. I really don't know. Once everybody asks me that, it's hard to come up with them. I played on Willie Nelson now, but he wasn't there.
Oh, wow. That must have been a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah, it's not good. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was. I mean, I worked with, I'm trying to think, I played with, Little Milton and of course Warren Haynes Uh, and I wrote songs for Huey Lewis' publishing
Ah,
company.
tell me about that. Did you get to meet with? Tell me about that. Did you get to work with? Did you get to meet Huey?
Yeah, I talked to him the other day.
Wow.
The way I made was I snuck backstage with this guy who was my manager, and I had opened up for him at Toast Place in Connecticut. And then I got to meet him, and then when I met him backstage down here, he offered me a publishing deal. And
I did remember hearing about that too.
Yeah, out of nowhere. He did, so that was cool.
Unbelievable. And he,
Yeah,
I believe, had a hearing loss recently.
Man, there's something going on, and I called him and told him, I heard about that from a friend of mine, and I called him and told him that he needed to talk to anybody about the hearing thing and get back to me. I'm going to push it, because, it's a pretty heavy thing being a singer.
Yeah.
He hasn't called me back yet. He will. He might. I don't know.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you worked with him for a little bit. How was it like working with Huey Lewis?
Well, I worked for his company. It was called Babalu, and they had Bruce Hornsby, Bonnie Raitt, and me and Delaware Clinton, and I forgot the last person, Bonnie Hayes, and they had a hell of a roster. Mm-hmm. And I guess when the money started getting funny, I was the first to go. But that was a beautiful experience, It really was.
And some of your songs have also been recorded by people like Montgomery Gentry, and you mentioned Delbert McClinton earlier, John Mayall. How was it like working with those folks?
Well, I did. They did my song, but you don't really meet them. They just go in the studio and do your song, and if they ask you to play on it, you will, but just because they do your song don't mean they're going to do that when they do it. That's why sometimes it's different than you thought it's going to be. Because, you're not there. And usually it's better if the songwriter's not there in case they want to change something and the songwriter gets upset, which you shouldn't do. They're lucky enough to get a cut, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, so I wasn't there. Well, I just got another cut. The guy got Coco Montoya. He's a guitar player for John Neel, and I don't know who else. And he cut a song I wrote called Will and Lie that I wrote with Warren Haynes. And I haven't heard it yet. Well, I guess I'll have to go online and listen to it. But so that's cool. That's a little mailbox money. Yeah.
You also got to work with Rick Vito of Fleetwood Mac. How was it like working with him?
Well, I mean, it was good. I gotta tell you, he played on my CD. Mm-hmm. Called, what was that called? I forget now.
Late Night Breakfast.
What the heck? What did he play on? I can't remember. No, yeah, Late Night Breakfast. Yeah, he played on that with me. Yeah, he was good. He just sat down, played the blues. That was it. Yeah, he was good too.
Well, what kind of goes into a studio session that listeners might not know about?
Well, that's a good question. Well, it doesn't just happen. I mean, it happens different all the time. You know what I mean? You can put one part on, then another part, and then another part. And then, you can do it that way, and you can do it live all at the same time. put the drums on and the bass, but I don't like doing that. But that's how a lot of people do it. You can punch in, punch out. If you mess up, you fix it.
You can re-record it over again, essentially.
Yeah, and you can add stuff onto it. And it's, I like to try to get my songs done in no more than 2 takes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way your brain's not working.
And
your
it's
heart's
sharp.
working, your brain's not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of fresh in your mind too, and a lot of the technology today is just so impressive. You could record something from your home and export it to iTunes, and people wouldn't tell the difference whether it was recorded in your basement or in your bedroom compared to a professional studio.
Yes, you know what you're doing.
That's right.
So, I'm going to start streaming. We call that thing live streaming, and get a bunch of players together once a week and shoot it out there, and see what happens.
Yeah. Do it.
A lot of people are doing
it.
So I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streaming is the way of the future, so get it out there and more people will know about you and know more about your art, your work.
Yeah, and this is a good thing. I'll still get used to it. I don't know. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I haven't done it enough yet to get used to it. But I mean, everybody else is. So I might as well do it too. Yeah, I'm into it. I have to go get Wi-Fi though.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. I don't have time to do that. But anyway, how we doing so far?
Oh, we're doing fine on time. What about 42 minutes? We'll keep going for another maybe 18 more minutes or so to kind of wrap it up. But you've been on all these different shows like the Tonight Show, Nashville Now, Music City Tonight, and the Volunteer Jam on the Nashville Network. Tell me about how did it feel for you to get to be called to go on those shows? That had to have been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I was a little nervous about TV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm blind, what the hell's the difference, but I was a little nervous. Volunteer Jam was fun. Was the Nashville, what was the other one? Nashville Now. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was Nashville Now, yes.
Yeah, it was cool. I played John Snyder and Tom Hope, the other guy. John Snyder and Tom, the other Dukes of Hazzard guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was fun. And, Volunteer Jam was fun. That was way back. Yeah, that was way back.
We recently lost Charlie Daniels. Did you get to work with him at all, or did you meet him at all?
Well, he was at my studio because we were recording his keyboard player's solo album, and he was coming over, but I had to go out of town, so no, I didn't get to meet him. But I mean, I know I love his loyalty. He was a very loyal fellow compared to some people. Very loyal. You were in his band, you were in his band. I was maybe 20 years, 30 years, So, yeah, I liked him. So
kind of tell me about the making of this record, Clean Break. What was your mindset going into making the album? Because it's 6 tracks, and I heard it earlier today. It was just absolutely fantastic. Wonderful instrumentation, beautiful melodies, a lot of blues.
Well, there's horns on there.
Yes.
And, I went to Memphis with a friend of mine, and we wrote these songs was, why did my baby treat me right? And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's about this woman that, you know, does not exist. You know, there's no woman that would do that for any guy. I'm telling you. But it was fun, right? You know, rubbing his feet, lighting his pipe, and shit. Oh, I mean, but anyway, so we wrote that and went down to Memphis and recorded it with the horns, and that was fun. That was fun. There's a lot of people in one room, you know, in the old days, and I like the wood players too. They were all good. I didn't know them. They were all good.
How do you feel? How do you feel that the music business has changed? I know we talked a little bit about technology, but how do you feel that it's changed in the last 30 years or so since you started getting into it?
Well, that's a loaded question. Basically, you know, I think you gotta have a bigger team to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have more people on the team. It ain't just like, you know, me needing somebody hooking up, you know, clicking, and away we go. You know,
Yeah.
You gotta get yourself surrounded in that kind of you know, aloof. You have to be, you know. I mean, I don't think that I know of that I could see Taylor Swift walk down the street. I'm not swearing to that. I wouldn't know if I did. But you know, not usually. But I like a lot of country music, but I don't know. It kind of lacks a little bit of honesty and soul.
It's too
you know,
it's too pop.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Does that make it country or not? Pop country.
Right.
You know, I like to hear Chris Stapleton. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear on that. You know, which he wouldn't. And they got a couple of good producers that are hanging in there with the real thing. Mm-hmm. You know, but anyway, yeah, I like country music. I mean, it's not what I like when I started, but it's what I'm starting to like now that I'm started. You know, I'm trying to get into it, you know, but I'm old school, you know.
Yeah. You're a rock and roller at heart.
Yeah.
That's always great when you meet people who are just into anything, they love what they do, and they're passionate about it, and they also want to help the next generation of artists. And that brings me to my next question. What would you say to someone who's looking to pursue a career in music and have a decades long career, ongoing career as you are having?
When they first come here?
When they first want to break into the business, into the music business.
Learn how to paint a house. That's what you got to do. You can't come here and think you gotta have a little something to depend on. Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, learn how to paint a house. That's what about 10 or 12 of my friends did, you know. And then they, you know, they kept looking and meeting people. And then they finally found what they wanted. But, you know, yeah, I did the, I guess, the second job just so you can make a living. But, you know, it's very rare that I know of that you're going to come down here and get a gig unless you know somebody before you get here, you know?
They say it's not. They say it's not who you know. It's not what you know. It's who you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. It's always been like that to a certain extent, but not as heavy as what it is now. But who you know is definitely a lot more influential. You know, but.
So we're kind of wrapping things up here. Where can people find your music? Do you have a Facebook page, Twitter, website?
Yeah, I got a Facebook page. page, this Johnny Neel, I think, yeah, just look up with Johnny Neel and a bunch of stuff ought to come up there. You know? That's Neel with two E's, N-E-E-L. Yeah. And that's, you know, just hit my name, like that's the way we go. You know?
Well, we could be here all day talking about great stories and more about the music industry, but we're out of time. I just want to say thank you, Johnny. It's been a real privilege.
Oh, you're so very welcome. I had a good time, and maybe we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Well, there you have it, Johnny Neel. We're going to play Clean Break, the title track off of his new CD. Johnny's new CD is Clean Break. That's it for The Piano Men with Stanley Carr. Like us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Piano Men Radio Show, or check us out on YouTube by punching in youtube.com and type in The Piano Men with Stanley Carr. I'll see you next week.